welcome to James Lewis's Express Lane, where we'll get you out as fast as possible. Guess who just got back from watching Black Panther? This guy. That's right. Just got back from watching Black Panther. I was a little nervous about this movie because worried about all the SJW BS that might be thrown in. Thankfully, they avoided that. Yes, the first hour is it's kind of slow because they got to do all the backstory. Because unlike Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, like their backstories. They can do a 5 minute collage. You're good to go for the rest of the 18 movies they're gonna do because you know their backstory. They don't need to go over it anymore because you know their backstory. You know Bruce Wayne's parents are shot. You know Krypton explodes. You know Uncle Ben gets shot. Like you know their origin stories. So, all right, 5 minutes, we're good to go. But like with Wonder Woman, like Wonder Woman is a pretty big deal. She's part of the big three of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman in the Justice League and all that. But they still had to spend time on her backstory because she was not as well known as the other two. And same thing with Black Panther. They had to spend time on his backstory. About an hour's worth of Wakanda history, Black Panther history. There's all this stuff that's going on. But worth it. Very much so. Once you get past that hour of backstory, which again it was kind of slow. There's some scenes they probably could have made shorter, taking the 8 second dramatic pause and turn it into a 3 second dramatic pause. Or like the scenes of the stuff that we saw in Civil War, whatever, like you could have cut that out. Like, all right, we saw that in Civil War. You don't need to rehash that, spend 5 minutes on that. Like, we saw that already. Cut that out. But again, very well worth it, and I understand they had to do the backstory because he's not as well known as the others. Kind of like Iron Man. Iron Man was not very well known until the Iron Man movie with Robert Downey Jr. That's why they spent so much time on his backstory. Pretty much the entire movie, except for maybe like the last 20 minutes, is his backstory. So, I guess the backstory in Black Panther is a lot shorter than what they did for Iron Man. Anyways, oh no, I'll say that part for the spoilers. There's gonna be spoilers. I'll do movie review and then spoilers then. But once you get past the first hour, the action picks up. Everything just picks up, and there's some good humor in this movie. But unlike Thor Ragnarok, it doesn't go over the top. It's not misplaced. If there's humor, it's good humor, not... Because there's times in Thor Ragnarok where it's like, yeah, that's not the place for a joke. Like, oh wow, all these people just died. Let's make a funny. Like, no, that's not the place for that joke. Or any joke right now. Black Panther doesn't do that. Black Panther's a lot more serious. As it should be. You find out more, again, you find out about Wakanda, you find out about Panther history, you find out about Bas, the goddess, and all this, and the vibranium. And you find out about the Cassius Claw, I think his name is. I know his last name is Claw, I don't remember his first name, but you find out about his backstory a bit. You just get so much information, but it's well paced and done in a way that it doesn't feel like too much. Like, you remember it. You remember in 1992, explosion. Oh, Claw stole his vibranium. And according to Wakanda, it was all they had, but we find out more that, no, obviously they have an entire freaking mountain of it. Besides Black Panther, my favorite character was, like, his little sister was pretty hilarious. She was hilarious. She was very funny. But in appropriate places. You find out Forrest Whitaker's character. I think like there's a lot of characters in this, more so than maybe in like a Spider-Man movie. Like Spider-Man, you have Spider-Man, Aunt May, his friend, and then the bad guy. Like, you had 4 characters, possibly 5 if you want to count the one girl, but they had 5 characters pretty much in Spider-Man: Homecoming. Well, in this, there's so many characters, but they're all like well placed. There's nothing like out of place. There's nothing out of whack. Do a lot of globetrotting. They go to South Korea. They go to Oakland. They go to Wakanda. They go to Nigeria. They're all over the place. But it makes sense when they're doing it. God, there's so much. I'll have to save that for spoilers as well. But the CGI was pretty well done. And obviously it's like, alright, that's CGI. But the reason you know it's CGI is because there's no way that was going to be really done. But yeah, it's not like some movies where like the CGI is like, oh god, that's terrible. No, this was good CGI. But yeah, story-wise, action-wise, joke-wise, this is very, very well worth it. Easily Yeah, I'll say 8 out of 10. Yeah, because like that first hour was kind of slow, but you have to have that background because he's a newer, not well known character like Spider Man, Batman, Superman. So you had to have that extra time spent on his backstory so you learn more about him. For if they could have like again cut out like the 8 second dramatic pause to 3 second dramatic pause and cut out all the stuff that we saw in Civil War, cut all that out, probably would have been like half an hour of sitting there going, okay, there's the backstory, more backstory. Okay, now we get to the action. Instead of sitting there for like an hour, just like, oh, come on, just get to the story. Okay, all right, just get to the story. But yeah, so 8 out of 10, easy. Possibly push to 8.5 out of 10 because it is very well done. The jokes are not out of place. The action's not out of place. The people are not out of place. Very well done. Go and see this movie. Do it now. But now, give it a few seconds. Get to the spoiler section. Un, deux, trois. Here's a little hint for you. If you want to know who's a good guy, who's a bad guy, if their hair is this long or shorter, they're a good guy. Anything longer than that, they become a bad guy. It's amazing. Like I picked it up really quickly. Like, oh, that person's bald. They're a good guy. That person's hair's too long. He's a bad guy. And I was right every time. All right, it may not have been that bad, but let's see. Let's see, there's two characters with long hair that weren't evil. I'm trying to think if there's anyone who was bald that was not good. No, never. If they're bald, they're a good guy. If they have long hair, except for two characters, they're evil. It's like that's like, did they mean to do that, or is it just the way the movie went? Yeah, but all right. For the storyline and all that, again, this is all spoilers. Don't watch this if you haven't seen the movie yet. Black Panther, as we know, his father was killed, so he's now Black Panther. He's now the king of Chithala, Wakanda, King T'Challa. He's now the king of Wakanda. During the ceremony of becoming king, there's 5 tribes. 4 of them follow Black Panther. The fifth one doesn't. And the 4 tribes there, we do not challenge. We do not challenge. We do not challenge. We do not challenge. Fifth one shows up. We challenge. The challenger fights Black Panther. No suit or anything. They just fight man to man. But actually, Black Panther wins. Now here's a misstep I thought, like, because like this is I guess you call it a lost tribe. Like this was his chance to be like, all right, I'm the new king. I'm gonna try to mend fences with these guys. They've been at war, like, well, not at, like they don't fight. They just screw you guys. We're not listening to you. We're gonna go and do our own thing for however many centuries, if not thousands of years. So this was his chance to be like, all right, thank you. Like, help him up, shake his hand. You honor me by challenging me to prove that not only am I king because of my father's blood in my veins, but because I have the true warrior spirit in my veins by fighting such a great challenger. Like that, just again, there could have been no. You do that for like 10, no, 10, 15 seconds extra to that scene of him helping him up, shaking his hand, thanking him for the challenge. Thank you for honoring me by challenging me to prove that I'm not just king because of my father. I'm king because I deserve to be king. Other than that, again, except for the long story, that's about the hour long of backstory. Other than that, very well done. But you have. It turns out that the old king, his father, had his brother, and like Wakanda has spies over the world. They call them war dogs. You can tell them like they pull their lips down and there's a barcode, whatever, 0 digit, whatever on their bottom lip when they pull the lip down and signify that they're a Wakandan war dog. Well, the old king sent his brother to Oakland during like 1990s to spy on the area, and he becomes militant. He's like, oh, there's all these people being oppressed, and we can help them. So he's gonna try to steal technology, and this is how Claw finds out about Wakanda and all the vibranium, because the king's brother was the source and all that, and tell him how to get in and how to get to the vibranium and all that. Well, obviously he's betrayed Wakanda. The king kills him, and then it goes to present day. There's someone, total badass, going around stealing vibranium from a museum, killing people here and there, just helping Claw out. And it turns out it's the son of the brother who was killed by the king. he was left behind. Stupid move. Like, alright, he's the son of the brother and all that. Take him with you. Why did you leave him behind? This whole movie doesn't happen if you take him with you. Morons. But he's a total badass who's trying to get to Wakanda because he wants. What he wants to do is use Wakanda's advanced technology to arm militants over the world to overthrow humanity and have Wakanda be king of the world. And he wants to be king because technically royal blood in his veins, and he should have been able to challenge Black Panther. Well, he kills Claw because like Claw in 1992 blew up a building, killed a bunch of Wakandans, stole the like half a ton of vibranium, and so he like Wakanda's. Well, the old king's like, no, hands off. If he leaves alone, we'll leave him alone. Which, again, fucking stupid. Black Panther goes after him. What was his name? Eric Killmonger, the son of the brother. Eric Killmonger helps him escape and all that, but then he kills him. Shows up to Wakanda with the body of Claw, who's a wanted criminal by Wakanda. Like, here's my gift. Pulls on his lip. Take me to the king. So then when he's there, he challenges Black Panther. Like, I never had my rights to challenge you, so I'm challenging you now. Black Panther accepts. Black Panther loses. Now, mind you, Eric Killmonger did not cheat. If anything, Black Panther cheated because someone interfered on his behalf. Like, he didn't say, hey, interfere for me. But he was about to be killed, and the person interfered. It's like, oh, don't kill him. Kill me instead. I was the spy that betrayed your father to the king. Told him, like, hey, this guy's betraying us. That's how the Klaus got in and all that. So, the guy won. Fair and square. He challenged the king, and he won. Fair and square. How, like, up until, like, maybe the last 10 minutes, like, how's this guy the bad guy? Like, his father was killed by the king. Maybe rightfully so, but then he was left behind. He was left behind to just be homeless in Oakland at, like, the age of 8 or whatever. He becomes a badass. Becomes a mercenary. Goes to Afghanistan. Goes to Iraq. Just goes everywhere. And then he goes to Wakanda, finally, with the body of the terrorist that blew up and killed a bunch of people and stole the vibranium. He challenges the king. Rightfully so. He fights him. Righteously. And he wins. Fair and square. But yeah, it turns out then he is playing of, he's going to arm the war dogs over the world and like, hey, go to your friends in those areas and like, hey, here's some vibranium weapons. We're going to overthrow humanity and have Wakanda take over. So that's when he becomes a bad guy. But until that point, like, he was wronged. He goes to the king. Doesn't like, no, just come up and assassinate him. Doesn't come up and just shoot him back of the head like, all right, I'm king now. Like, no. He says, hey, you and me, mano a mano, fist to fist. Let's do this. And he wins. So, hey, seems like he should be the king then, right? But again, he was going to do the whole overthrow humanity thing, kill everyone. But besides that minor little detail, but yeah, it was a very good movie. I'm glad I got to see it today. Go to the movies, check it out, watch it, love it. And as always, like, subscribe, comment down below, and have a wonderful day.